Hello, hey, congratulations, second season of We Are Lady Parts.
Woo!
Woo, thank you.
I know I waited quite a while for something like this. Love the first season, but we want to hear it from you. What do you think is the secret to success for the series so far?
Oh, it's definitely Nida's writing coming from the heart and just her comedic timing, her inclusion of so many different things and subjects and deep emotional complexities. That's several things, isn't it? You asked for one thing.
That's the thing,
No,
it's the fact that you can't place it to any one thing. I feel like the show has so many ingredients to it. And I think the fact that she is an amazing director, she is as a writer, because often, it's like there is no imbalance there. Like that was the thing about doing season one, was seeing just how much better it was after it finished, because on the page it was so good, and then the finished product, it was just full of imagination and wit. And I think she just has a very original voice, and I think that comes through.
now, of course, I the reason why I love season one so much is because the fact is, these characters are any type of character. It's the character development. These girls are trying to find themselves, you know, to their own. So in season two, tease us where these characters are actually going. Are they transitioning into something?
I think they're going through these very existential questions, and each one of them has a bit of a journey. And I think it tests maybe their sense of who they are and where they are and their voice and their place in this world. And they have a kind of individual journey, but then that's also mirroring what the band as a whole, they're asking, who are we? What does our music mean? What place do we have in this landscape? And what are we actually trying to achieve here? And what does success look like to us? And so I think it is a very much like an individual journey and a group journey. So yes, I think there's definitely elements where transition is a good word, where they're feeling like they're being forced into a different direction. And then they have to ask themselves, is this somewhere I want to go? Is this something I'm fighting against? Or do I want to go back to where I am? Like, where am I comfortable?
Anything to add, Sarah?
Agree.
All of the
I
above.
agree with all of that. No, definitely. I think the first series is so much about them coming together. And so in this second series, we're seeing how they've been influenced by each other, as we all do by our circumstances and the people that we hang around with. So some of us have certain traits that we probably didn't have in the first series because of our journeys together. So that's also kind of the way they're transitioning. Yeah, so we'll see by the end how they've truly been influenced.
So true, so true. And just like any story about rock bands, there's always going to be conflicts.
Yeah.
But for yourselves, being part of this cast for the second season already, there probably aren't that many conflicts. Talk about the chemistry with the rest of the castmates on this production. Or are there conflicts?
It's nice when you don't have to manufacture chemistry. Like genuinely, we're so in each other's pockets and we love each other genuinely. And we've been in each other's lives this whole time since season one. So season two wasn't like, all right, so what have you been up to the last 3 years? It was just kind of picking up where we left off. And it makes it easy. And we all have, if there's any conflict, I'll say it's very silly things, like we all have very different ways of working, but when we come together, it's just chaos. So it's like sometimes it's like there's just too much fun, guys. Like, can we all just take it down a notch because we're not actually getting anything done because I think ourselves get in the way of how much fun we're having, and we were like, hold on a second, I need to actually like work. Or there's a lot of singing, sort of harmonizing, and I'm not very good at harmonizing, so I
You're
always have to find that difficult. I was like, guys, can we stop the singing, because I'm finding it very difficult to harmonize.
I think it was lovely as well because we do have so much chemistry from the beginning. We know each other so well now. I think you know how incredible each person is, but they still surprise because we're relaxed. People are risking things. People are trying out new things, And it's so surprising and humbling and pride making that you just see this person grow and grow and grow.
How
Yeah,
how do
we're a
you
little bit.
how do you both approach like the rehearsals between acting and music on a production like something like this?
We often rehearse the music first. I think in the first series, yeah, we rehearsed the music over and over again so that we'd actually practiced more as a band than we had, any of the script. So it was nice to come into rehearsals with that kind of foundation already laid. Um, it was kind of a mixture for season two. Did we do rehearsals and band rehearsals at the same
We
time?
did, yeah, but it's I think we had because we was rehearsing as a band. Music was coming in, we were rehearsing it. Nida likes to rehearse, which is a real luxury, I think, when you're working in film and TV. So we've at least have gone through every scene at least once. But there's some scenes you go, I don't want to touch that too much. We don't want to talk about it too much because you want to keep it sort of live and fizzy for the day that you're filming it. But there's definitely at least a conversation about the journey or where we're at with any, especially when there's like more than a few characters, like band scenes, for example. And obviously like individual character journeys as well. So there's a lot of rehearsal in that sense, in terms of a lot of talking and prep, but it's very collaborative as well. So I think she's very good at like taking in people's suggestions. And on the day, it's nothing set in stone. So if on a band day, we want to try something different. And actually, I want to like, if Sarah wants to jump in the bed and do some guitar thing, and then the camera will follow her. And if I feel like I want to do something crazy, some comedy sort of entrance, Nida's like, try it. So it's very live. It's a good mix of not being too rehearsed and too set in stone, because I think with comedy, you need to like have the space for just some of the whatever you're feeling on the day, for that kind of like liveness and electricity to kind of make the scene work as well.
Excellent. And of course, everyone loves the songs because you cover both original songs and cover songs in this series. Tell us about it, and which is actually harder to handle, because some people like have pressure to imitate cover songs, or some people have more pressure to do original songs. What is it for you, for the both of you?
I personally feel the originals are harder. What do you think, Sarah?
I think the originals are harder, but they feel very special because you're allowed, we've been given permission to transform, but they are harder because everyone knows them a certain way. But what I love is they are expecting a punk version. And the certain covers that we've done are so not punk that it's so lovely to hear them in such a different way. So they become a whole new song, actually. I feel like people will recognize them, but then be like, oh, yeah, oh, I like this version.
Most excellent. Well, let me wrap it up with one last question. How important is it to you to tell like these type of Muslim stories, especially in popular media today, because it's a rarity, and that's what We Are Lady Parts is very unique in the sense.
I think it's important just in terms of the larger issue and problem of like, you need to humanize people, and you have to not make people issues and headlines. You have to make them people. And I think that this is a show that like, presents women as they are, with all their messiness and contradictions, and their hopes and their desires and their dreams. With that, as a comedy, doesn't shy away from difficult conversations and issues, but it has to be character led first. And I think sometimes particularly with brown stories, particularly with South Asian stories, particularly with like Muslim led stories, you always want to present the kind of the issue or the problem, and the character becomes a mouthpiece for something or a symbol for something, but it doesn't make them a real person. And I think if we only have shows like that, then collectively you sort of don't represent the truth of a people or a community. And that's not to say any one show can represent everyone, but what I think it allows is to just show people existing for who they are, and show them in their variety and their difference. And that is what any drama or comedy should be striving to do, no matter who you represent.
Well said, well said.
So
Ladies,
awesome.
thank you very much for carrying this conversation with us. And Sarah, last time we talked, we were talking about your character being a butcher, and we know you're vegetarian. So glad they took that out for you. So
Yeah, I know. No more carcasses. Thank you.
Yeah.
thank you
Generally,
very much.
there's a lot more vegan
Thank
this
you.
season too.
Appreciate it. We'll do this
Take
again
care.
next time. Thank you.